If you say sorry a lot, you're probably not rude. You're probably trained. Let me ask you something. How many times did you apologize today? Once? 5 times? Or so many times you didn't even notice anymore? Think about it. Sorry for being late. Sorry to bother you. Sorry if this sounds stupid. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. That's not kindness. That's conditioning. Because constant apologizing isn't about manners. It's about fear. Fear of being judged. Fear of being rejected. Fear of taking up space. And most people don't even realize it's happening. Your brain has learned something very specific. When you say sorry, tension goes down. So it repeats it. Over and over again. Until apology becomes automatic. And here's where it gets dangerous. You stop asking yourself, did I actually do anything wrong? Or do I just feel uncomfortable? Because those are not the same thing. But your brain treats them like they are. And that's how the guilt trap starts. You're not apologizing because you made a mistake. You're apologizing because you feel responsible for other people's emotions. And that belief usually starts early. As a child, approval felt like safety. Disapproval felt like danger. So you adapted. You learned to soften yourself, to shrink, to apologize before anyone even had a reason to be upset. And now you do it automatically, even when nothing is wrong. Let's break down the hidden triggers behind this, because once you see them, you can't unsee them. First, imposter syndrome guilt. This one is subtle. You walk into a room, and part of you feels like you don't fully belong there. Like you got in, but it could be taken away at any moment. So what do? You apologize more. You lower your presence. You soften your voice. Not because you're wrong, but because you're preparing just in case you're exposed. Second, emotional responsibility guilt. This is when you believe other people's feelings are your responsibility. Someone is quiet, you say sorry. Someone is stressed, you say sorry. Someone reacts badly, you assume it's your fault. But here's the reality. Not every emotion in the room belongs to you. You were never meant to manage everyone else's inner world. But if you grew up around unpredictable emotions, you learned to do exactly that. Third, conflict avoidance. Apologizing is the fastest way to end tension. It shuts things down immediately. No argument, no friction. But there's a cost. Every time you apologize just to keep the peace, you teach people something about you. That you'll fold. That your voice is optional. And over time, you start believing that too. Fourth, moral overcorrection. This one hits people who care deeply. You don't want to be rude, you don't want to be selfish, so you overcompensate. You apologize even when you're allowed to exist as you are. But kindness doesn't require self-erasure. And empathy without boundaries turns into self-neglect. So how do you break this pattern? Not by becoming cold. Not by becoming aggressive. But by becoming aware. Start with this simple shift. Replace unnecessary apologies with neutral language. Instead of, sorry I'm late, say, thanks for waiting. Instead of, sorry to bother you, say, quick question. Instead of, sorry if this sounds stupid, say, here's what I'm thinking. Notice the difference. You're still respectful, but you're not shrinking yourself. Next, use the 3-second rule. When you feel the urge to say sorry, pause. Ask yourself one thing. Did I actually cause harm? Or am I just uncomfortable? If there's no harm, there's no apology needed. And finally, change the belief underneath it all. You are not responsible for how everyone feels. Discomfort is not a crime. Taking up space is not wrong. Apologies are for mistakes, not for existing. So here's your challenge. For the next 24 hours, catch one unnecessary sorry. Just one. And replace it. Because awareness is where change begins. And when you stop apologizing for who you are, people will either respect you or reveal who they were all along. If this made you think differently, stay with me. Because we break down human behavior like this every week. And the more you understand yourself, the harder it becomes for the world to shrink you. I'll see you in the next one.